Oculus kind of started with Palmer Luckey when he was like 19 in his garage. He basically was painting boats and just buying old headsets and phones and taking them apart. He's like a tinkering dude, and kind of figured out that like cell phone tech with like the gyrometers, accelerometers, that kind of technology, like that was like the missing link. And now because cell phone tech's cheap, like you can actually make something affordable because VR won't work if it's not affordable. So originally everybody assumed that it would be $300 when the actual headset came out. And it wasn't because they just didn't have access to parts and tools and all that back when they made the projections because they got bought by Facebook. So the first dev kit was a 4:5 ratio. It's pretty low resolution. It had a big time what they call screen door effect, where you just kind of looks like you're looking out of a window with the screen door, and they had a big issue with latency, but granted, for when this came out, it was like the coolest thing you've ever seen. And the way like this thing was powered with like this kind of little attachment, which is where you put all your plugs and your connections in and all that. So this is kind of how they handled the power supply, your connection to the computer, your HDMI, so the setup is a little bit of a pain. There's a lot of problems. It was just kind of an era of demos. Like there wasn't really concrete games or uses. Like people would like rig up GoPro cameras and like take video of that, and like it just would again make you sick. But it was still, you've never seen anything like it. And then a couple years later we got to Dev Kit 2. This is a major leap over this one. So this one is like 1080p. It actually had like the screen door effect. It was much more limited than it was in the other one. It looked more like a fine net. It's still there, but it's not like craziness. But the big thing on this one that kicked it off was this little unassuming camera. So this camera is actually for positional tracking. And positional tracking is tracking not only your head moving on an axis, but also forward into depth into the world. So when you bend down to look at something, it gets closer to you. So having this, although it was limited, you kind of clip it to the top of your monitor, and then you'd have a certain range where like you could like bend down and look at stuff, but still pretty limited. But for when it came out, it was mind blowing stuff.